Dion, you're one of my favorites out here, but it's either you or me, and I know you're throwing my name out there, so best of luck.
That's just trash, man. Sorry. That's Chris Page's garbage.
Maria, from the look you just gave me, it's very clear that you're voting for me as well. I'm just hoping that whatever bonds I made can come through, but I think that original alliances run deep.
Dion, we've been through so much in this game together, but you're just way too big of a social threat to keep in this game and in this merge with a 5-5 tie. I love you.
I'm gonna take over where she ended. Since you guys don't care, I guess I'll just vote. Is all the cameras set up? Okay. You're the only vote I've drawn hearts for because I love you so much. And this is the most heartbreaking. Dion, you're an awesome person. We just think that you have a really tight relationship with Kathy on the other tribe. And so we just know that this could be the most dangerous pair for us moving forward. And we just really need to use our girl power to kind of swing her over without you. It's been awesome playing with you. Brobsters forever.
All right. This sucks. The 4 ladies left are my girls. I have a 2 deal, or an alliance of 3 on one side, an alliance of 3 on the other. I am the linchpin of that alliance. Those 5, we're going to try and rock and roll it as far as we can. This is going to be a big wrinkle in the game because it's going to hopefully be a merge. If it is 5 on 5, we have not talked to any of those people in that other tribe this entire game. Dion, you have been awesome. You are amazing. You're such a good dude. We did not want to do this. The only thing, I had relationships with the 4 remaining players over you, and you're awesome. Sorry this didn't work out.
Dion, the tribe has spoken. Oh! Come on! I'm in! Yeah! Time for you to go.
What happened?
You know what? I know what happened. I got too wordy towards the end there. You know, the things that I was trying to say to convince people to trust me gave them a sense of doubt. And I was trying to use it as an opportunity to really move forward with these people, because I had my ride or die in Desiree, but we haven't spoken since day one. You know, so how loyal can you be to an alliance like that? Because she's made alliances on the other side too. So going into this merge, I was going to stick with the Yellow Tribe, and I was going to try and get Kathy and Desiree to work with us, with the intention of moving the Yellow Tribe forward. But I think they just saw me too much as a winner threat. They said it to me as I was leaving, but also just the way that I performed in challenges. If like the next round is individual immunity, then I think they would be worried. And if it's not, then haha, you don't have me to do your puzzles for you anymore.
So we talked, and you had some pieces moving in this group. Who outmaneuvered you?
Courtney.
All right. So who do you think she imagines herself moving forward with?
Courtney and Justin always had a tight bond. I noticed that whenever Justin would look at Courtney, they would stare daggers at each other every time we would come into a challenge. So I knew they were tight. So when Justin came over to work with me, I made sure to let Courtney know that I really like Justin. And when I said, you know, if you two work with Evan and me, she's like, I don't trust Evan. And I was like, it's got to be a two-way street.
Yeah.
Like, it really does. Like, you want me to work with your tight alliance, but you're not willing to work with someone from my former alliance? How can I move forward? But I was in the bottom of the numbers. And I was just lucky enough that there were two other people that they saw as bigger threats than me moving forward. And I actually think that Maria is a social threat. She's very funny, she's very quiet, she gets away with a lot. And if she got to the end, I think she would win. Because they were saying to me, Hannah. So Hannah said to me, she goes, who would you think would win at the end? Evan or Maria? And I said, Maria. She's like, no. I was like, are you kidding? I'm like, Evan can't hold a conversation with a person, and they don't trust him. They don't know what his gameplay is. They don't know how to work with him. Maria is very, very charming. Very charming, and she's a lot smarter than people give her credit for.
So,
You want to talk about Hannah?
What's that?
You want to talk about Hannah?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Hannah was my thorn in my side. She was really the most lovable, bubbly character. I love her to death. But when she came back from her tribe and she said to me, by the way, I told Maria that you guys got a fake idol, I was like, she's not with me. She's not with me. And she kept on saying to me, yeah, we're good with green, right? And I was like, she's got her loyal Yellow Tribe now. She's working she's definitely working with Katie. I had my hesitations with Katie. I know Katie from former playing in online reality games. I've played in quite a few. I never told anybody, but she knew my secret. So I don't know if she shared my secret with people, and she might have shared that with Hannah to gain trust. But I know that Hannah feels confident with moving forward with Katie, and there's probably a girls' alliance going on there. But she said to me, do you want Maria or Courtney? So I don't think that Courtney's involved in that. I think Maria's working with Hannah and Katie.
Okay. So you mentioned the fake hidden immunity idol.
Which was actually real.
Production found it very shrewd, since I was standing there as you did this, real, fake, swap the notes. And do you think that this has, obviously Desiree still has the real one in her pocket?
See, I wasn't sure, because I didn't see the color of the idol that Adam had, and I don't know if that was the one that Desiree had, but okay, that proves my suspicions. Okay.
Keep that on the down low. Because there is always that temptation when we have...
I won't say anything.
And so it's still in play. Well, let me take a step back. So Desiree, is she still, like, if you're going to be cheering anyone on here and you want to see get to the end, is she, who are you rooting for now?
Who am I rooting for? Honestly, Probably Desiree. I mean, I like Courtney a lot, but the emotional side of me kind of goes, she just lied constantly. Like, in the sense of, yeah. It was just like a ramble kind of thing. And I don't see that as good strategy. I see it more as avoiding playing the game. Justin was much better playing the game. So if it did come down to the two of them, I'd probably vote for Justin. He is a stronger player. And if she's planning on going to the end with him, I think she's fooled into thinking that she'd be able to win.
So you set Justin up
Just
there.
quickly, my jaw is locking from eating chocolate because it's been how many days since I've ate solid food?
Yeah,
And then
I'm
eating
out,
rice
out
and,
of practice.
and what was it, berries? This is ridiculous.
Can I ask, like, also, you've been, like, my pick to win this game since day one. I kid you not. I've been, like, shouting your name from the highest of mountains.
That was my
and-
pick too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved, like, the Green Tribe, in my opinion, was, like, the most unified tribe out of the four. And then on top of that, can you also grab the other gray battery? And beyond that, you know, you hated your position in the swap tribe. You know, it was a much harder position, but you, like, it was so impressive of how you were able to be just barely one vote ahead after challenge after challenge, and then you got to that core four that you guys were just destroying it in the challenges, and that emotional roller coaster was something. Explain what that was like.
That was that night, the night of the first night. We had just got a green team coming together. I'd really worked all day to get, you know, Adam to be on par with me, because Adam and I were at the opposite ends of the shelter the first night, so it was the next night that I'm referring to. But I was just like, this is an all-American army dude, and I'm this skinny brown gay man from Australia, like worlds apart. Like, if you want to put us on a worlds apart season, it couldn't be more fitting. But I just thought about it because we had like 3 girls, 2 gays, and Adam. That's the way I always used to say it. I was like, so we gotta work this, but I realized that I had good one-on-one relationships, and I stopped myself after the first day and I said, do I have a good one-on-one relationship with Adam? No, I don't. I've got to work on this. So I walked off with him and I started speaking strategy, and he spoke with me as well. And I was like, that's great. I'm like, because at least there's some sense of he's willing to play the game and talk strategy. So when I got moved into the red tribe, and there was literally 2 people I was familiar with, one person from my own tribe and somebody from the summit exercise that we did on the first night. The thing that was great about it being Scott was that he shared a secret with me. So we were kind of indebted to each other. I really took advantage of that, because I was just like, all right, there's going to be these 3 older guys that are probably going to want to stick together. I need to drag him away somehow, and we have a secret, and that's how I'm going to do this. I did not want to vote out Brie. I did not want to vote out Brie because I knew that she would stick with me, because I knew she felt vulnerable for good reason. And then people in this game are very good at saying and not giving you fact. So I'm quite good at reading people, generally, at least I think I am. And when I looked at Laura's face, when I looked at Courtney's face, and they're both like, cool, yep. They're all rubbish words. They have no meaning to them. There's no substance whatsoever. I might as well have been speaking to Bill, and you know, and have him tell me straight out that we're voting. Like, do you know what I mean? So I had to really work for them. Like, I had to work my butt off for them, because I had to convince them to vote out their own tribe mates. And though Laura didn't vote out John, the first thing she did when she came back was put her hand on Courtney's leg, look at myself and Kathy, and say, I voted for you, Dion, but you all need to vote for John because that's the right option. That's nuts. That's nuts. Like, I don't care that you voted for me, but the fact that you're telling the person in the middle to vote for me, because in my mind, Courtney would have flipped. There was a chance that she would have flipped, just because she knows that there was more numbers moving forward. I know that Courtney always saw me as being threatening, but she needed my strength and challenges. Like, I know that. And I don't think she ever had any intention with going to the end with me, but she didn't have anyone else to work with at that time, and I was willing. So going from 8 in the red tribe to the 4 in the red tribe, that was my tribe. that was my tribe. If we had stayed in that tribe, I would still be in the game. You know, if we had a merge with 3 tribes coming together, I'd still be in the game. If we had a merge 2 rounds ago, this was the worst case scenario, and that's why I'm sitting here. It's terrible. Terrible.
Here, there's more food here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
It is
peanut butter jelly is what they're giving to all the contestants. So.
Well, this is going to be my first time eating peanut butter and jelly, so I can do that on camera for you guys.
Really?
Okay, as long as you're not allergic to peanut butter.
No, it's just sounds gross.
Oh, is this because you're Australian?
I'm allergic.
Yeah. You're
Okay.
allergic.
Oh, let's take a
I
moment
eat
saving
Vegemite.
this. Oh
So-
yeah, that's true. You're weird.
I mean, hey, calm down.
Hey,
No,
I was your winner's pick. You
Okay,
kind of like
yeah,
me a
okay.
little bit.
I'm from New Hampshire, and we have this soda called Moxie,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this really like it's a
98% of the world finds it truly disgusting, but
Okay.
there's a small percentage that it's the best. It is
and it's my
Ambrosia.
favorite soda. So I do get where you're coming
Uh-huh.
from that, but it's always fun to be like, nah, you nasty.
I have 3 jars of Vegemite at my place in LA. So if you ever find yourself in LA, I'll make you a Vegemite
That
sandwich.
sounds wonderful.
Where do you live in LA? I lived out there for 8 years.
I'm in East Hollywood.
Okay.
So in the general Hollywood area.
Yep.
I work out in West Hollywood. So Hollywood generally, but I was in North Hollywood before. Every part of Hollywood that's not Central Hollywood, I've
You've been
lived
in.
in. Yeah.
Cool. So we talked a lot about game, and so you're cheering for Desiree. Who do you think is going to win this thing?
In terms of numbers, the Reds have 3. They don't have anyone on the other tribe. I think they're going to get picked off. I think the boys are going to all get picked off. I think this is going to be all women at the end. I'm interested to see how idols play into the game. I had that clue, and I just didn't know what. I read it the next morning because in my head I was just like, I'll be able to do this tomorrow, and then I was like, oh nope, missed my opportunity. Like it was just, it wasn't. You're out there. You're like, I can't pull this letter out because I'm with my tribe mates. I don't get to go off and be by myself. It's too dark to read it, and you miss that opportunity, and that's what happened there. But I honestly think a woman's coming out with this, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was Maria. If a guy gets to the end, I think that he would win just based on the odds, not on him being a male. Just want to clarify. But it's honestly anyone's game at this point, except I don't think Rachel will win.
She's the one person you identify with no 0.0%.
She's hungry, but kind of like concerningly hungry. Concerningly in the sense that it's like, I don't care about how you respond to what I'm doing, which is interesting because that's Survivor.
That's the game.
So I think Desiree has an idea of taking her to the end. I really think that Desiree came together with Rachel because of their trust in terms of the idols. And I have no idea, but this is what I'm assuming.
Yep.
And I think an idol may have been played last round to get Jack out, unless the girls were able to swing in a guy, which in that case, that would be crazy. That'd be crazy. I would love it.
Well, maybe you'll find Jack over there and dig into his brain, find out what happened to him.
Who?
Jack.
Oh.
He might have some insights.
Oh,
for
I
you.
would love that.
Yeah.
It'll be my first time actually conversing with Jack.
It is funny, with all of the swaps, we still have a lot of connections that didn't get made. People who just don't know.
The red tribe, some people in the yellow tribe have never
Cross
interacted with somebody on the other tribe, like at all. And I had interacted with so many people, which was so frustrating because I was like, I had this. Frustrating.
I think it was a bad move.
Which?
Taking Dion out.
As they can see, they're out there doing another challenge, and I feel like Justin was even saying that. He's like, I feel like we have to prepare for another challenge. It's like, well, then you shouldn't vote out Dion, though.
I'm good at challenges.
Heck
Not
yeah.
because I'm some genius, but because
You bring the team together.
it's all about working together.
Yep.
And that's why it was so important for me to get rid of Bill in the first vote. Not because he's any kind of person, but because he would get flustered in challenges. Justin gets flustered in challenges. I had to convince him not to do the slingshot and do the grappling hook instead, because we saw him use a slingshot earlier. And he's like, guys, never put me in a slingshot again. And then he was like, I'll do the slingshot. I was like, no! Like, what are you doing? Like, listen to what you say and then do that. And like with the puzzle, like I was barking out orders, but not to be angry and mean, but to get something done cohesively, you know? And it wasn't like, there were people that were like, don't do that. Like that was their way of talking to the team during a challenge. And I was like, this is not productive. This doesn't make anybody want to perform better. And I work in ensembles for my career. I work in music theatre. I work I'm an actor. I work with groups of people that I have no idea who these people are, but you have to act instantly like you've known them for a lifetime, you know? And generally, the best way to get along with people is to interact with people on a fun level. Like, you know, no pressure, just kind of like go into it. You know, it's a game, it's this, it's that. And I feel like a lot of people going to this game don't realize how important the social dynamics are. And also trusting in the right kind of relationships. Because, I mean, I trusted in Justin and Courtney purely to get to the merge because I knew that they wanted Maria there. And it was my last attempt. And that's, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles. That's it.
Cookies are good.
Before we end it, I gotta have you try that sandwich before I turn off the camera. Let's see this. Let's see the verdict.
First bite.
What kind of, what, you call it jelly, right?
Yep.
Is it, because like for me, jelly is like wibble wobble on a plate.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. It's just, you know,
I think
Like jam?
It looks like
yeah,
it's strawberry.
Yeah, very much like jam with just
So
not the chunks of fruit. It's
Oh,
just
so it's like-
pureed.
Oh, that sounds glorious.
It's sweet compared to the
All right.
savory of the peanut butter.
Shall we?
Yeah,
Shall
let's
we?
do it.
Cheers. It's not terrible. I don't know it would be my go-to snack.
Mm-hmm.
The consistency is something else. And I wish I had pig's feet to compare it to. I really wanted to eat that, you guys, so bad.
Dude, I was waiting for you
devastated.
to eat that in like 2 seconds.
I would have hoovered that thing up. I mean, there wouldn't have been anything on the no. I'll eat my peanut butter jelly sandwich.
So, last question, and I'll let you get over there, and you can cheer and glare.
Yeah.
So we talked a lot about game.
Mm-hmm.
What was the experience like for you?
Okay, so during the first day, I was like, this is gonna be fun. Sit down for the check-in. Literally, we're sitting down, ready to go in to start the game. This behemoth dark cloud moves in, and Hannah and I couldn't speak to each other, but she looks at me and she's like, like there's like double taking all that. She's like, what? It's like, what are we doing? It's kind of thing, and that's when it dawned on me that it was like, oh damn. Okay, so just to give you some intel, I came into this game with a tank top, which you all saw, a pair of shorts, a pair of jeans, which I discovered from everybody else was a really bad option, and a hoodie, just like a fitness gear hoodie. It wasn't a weatherproof jacket. I didn't have a towel. That's what I had, because I was like, I want to pack light. I have to fly from LA. I just want to have one bag. But I just kind of figured when you're in these situations, you got to rough it. Like, you got to get the full experience. Mm-hmm. And I definitely got the full experience. Kind of wish I did have that blanket and that jacket. It would have been nice. But it just shows how unprepared physically I was for this game. So there were moments in the game that it would just rain and you were just wet and cold. And I was like, can I do this? Like, can I stay? Like, the first night was excruciating. Not in a, like, I'm gonna die sense, but in a, I'm miserable. I'm so happy that I spent that night with the Green Tribe, because they're such good people. Like, it was great. I haven't laughed that hard with a group of people in so long. And like, that's why when he came around and he asked, well, how was last night? I'm like, we laughed a lot. Like, we really did get along. And that, like, you see that in the real show and you're like, ugh, whatever, we hate hearing that. But it's so important to have that kind of like community and that trust. And I honestly think that if we had gone to Tribal Council as a 6, there's no way that I would have been the first or second boot. No way. I would have at least been 4th. But I doubt that the girls were that tight. Who knows? Maybe Hannah's playing a stronger game than I expect, because she'll say one thing to you and then just never speak to you again, and then just reassure it 2 days later. You're like, okay, cool. But roughing it in the elements, and like I say that because we really are outside with nothing. Like this isn't somebody's backyard. This is lush land. We were picking berries. We were starting fires. We were in the rain, which we don't get in Los Angeles, and I haven't experienced that in a really long time. But day 1, if you asked me if I could do it again, I'd say no. Day 4, in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you experienced the roughest single day of weather we've ever had.
Yeah.
And it becomes a great story afterwards, but I mean, we were out there production with you in it for a while, but we finally got to go inside, and it's like, they're out there in that.
Yellow didn't have a tarp.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, honestly, if I was in the Yellow tribe, we didn't have a tarp and we were sitting in the rain, I might have quit. Not because I wanted to, but because, again, miserable. And just kind of like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
And, we're all out here to have fun. And in that moment, I was like, that wouldn't be fun. But I wasn't in that scenario.
Yeah.
And who knows? If I was in that scenario with the Green tribe, like, maybe it would have been fun. We did really get along and humor each other and things like that. But their tribe camp was actually really nice. So I was like, it makes sense now. I get it now. Yeah.
Well, truly a pleasure.
It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. No, it's I'm one of the crew that chooses people, and you were an easy yes. It's,
I'm so happy to hear that.
yeah. It was so much fun watching you play.
I had fun playing.
Good. All right. Well, let's